Hello everybody, good to be with you again. This is the last of our videos for the time being because we're finishing for the summer. So I thought I'd go back and take us a Bible story from my Bible book. And this story is entitled, if you like, Two Very Important People. So let's get going, shall we? When Jesus and his friends arrived back on the busy side of the lake, a big crowd began to gather. Everyone was pushing to get nearer to Jesus. But as the sight of one particular man was trying to reach him, he bustled his way through. The people recognised him and stood away for him because they realised that he was Jairus, the president of the synagogue, if you like, in charge of their big church. He was a very important man in the town, so the crowd parted for him. He came up to Jesus and he suddenly dropped to Jesus' feet. "Come quickly," he said, "come quickly. My little girl is really poorly. Please, please, please come quickly." Jesus turned at once and he began to follow Jairus. The crowd jostled behind Jesus and behind Jairus. And Jesus suddenly stopped. "Who touched me?" he said to the people around him. His disciples laughed and said, "Jesus, we're a crowd of people. Everybody's crowding around you. Everyone is bumping into you." But Jesus waited. His eyes were looking around. He searched out the faces of the people, and eventually his eyes stopped on a small, white-faced lady. She stepped timidly forward. "It was me. I was the person who touched you. I'm sure that if I just touched even the bottom of your coat, I would be healed." So Jesus stopped and spoke to her and said, "Tell me about it." She said, "Well, I've been ill for 12 long years. I've spent all my money on doctors and I've just got worse and worse. Everybody has given up on me. And I thought if I could just touch your coat, I would be healed." Jesus smiled at her, a great big smile, and said, "My daughter, your trust in me has made you well. Go on your way." So the lady went off, healed by just touching Jesus's coat. But the most important thing was she believed and she knew that if she touched Jesus's coat, she would be healed. Well, while Jesus was giving his attention to this lady, of course, he was delayed going to see Jairus' daughter. And Jairus' daughter, the servants from Jairus' house came running up to them and said, don't bother to come now, she's died." Jairus, of course, was absolutely devastated. But Jesus said, don't worry, I'm going to go and see her still." So Jairus and Jesus strode on to Jairus' house. When they got to Jairus' house, there was a lot of noise. There were people crying and wailing and, "Oh, this is terrible. Oh, she's died," outside the house. And he said, "Send them all away. Send them all away. She isn't dead. She is sleeping." They laughed at him, of course. They said, "Don't be so silly." Anyway, Jesus walked straight past all these people staring at him and into the house. And he ordered no one to come into the house apart from the little girl's parents and his 3 close friends, Peter, James and John. Jesus went across to the still, dark little girl lying on the mattress. He took her cold, white hand in his. "Get up, little one," he said. At once, the little girl opened her big brown eyes and she started to stir. She put her legs over the side of the bed and up she got. All the people, the disciples and the little girl's mum and dad were really excited. But Jesus said, be calm. She is well." And he turned to her mum and dad and said, "Have you got something for her to eat?" And with that, he left and the little girl went on living. I think that's a wonderful story, a story about Jesus healing, Jesus doing what we've always known Jesus could do. He healed the lady because she trusted in Jesus. And she healed Jairus' daughter because Jairus trusted that Jesus could heal her too. So two very important people, two very different people. A lady who wasn't very important in the town and in fact had been, oh, she's always ill and just dismissed. And Jairus, who's very important in the town. But Jesus helped both of them because both of them trusted in Jesus. And that's what we must do. We must trust in what Jesus said. Jesus told us all, didn't he, that we must go about being kind and caring to people, that we should love God, that we should love our neighbour as ourselves. And so as we go about and enjoy the summer, that's what we must remember, the teachings of Jesus, how he taught us to be loving and kind, how he taught us to be good friends, to be good neighbours, to be good and kind to everybody. So if we keep that in mind and we go about our holidays, wherever we may be going and enjoying ourselves, we just need to remember those things. There were people who trusted in Jesus and we must trust in him too and the words that he has spoken to us. Well, have a super summer holiday, and I do hope that when we'll be able to get together in September and actually see each other and have some fun together and have the stories together, not just on a video. Well, it's been great being with you, and I really do look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.